Hello, welcome to another episode of our live stream, My Journey to the Trinity. Am I overly bright? Am I like bright, like light bright? I wonder if I'm too bright. Let me see if I could do something about that. Touch up my, let's see. Isn't there a way like to make it a little look darker? I don't know if it's okay. I'm not sure that did anything, but maybe it did. It's funny. It was work. Okay, the camera's working now. The regular camera's working now. Oh my goodness. Okay. So anyway, so I got. Okay. I hope you guys are doing good. God bless. Hey, Blackwater. Yeah, I'm very bright. Well, it could just be my brightness.
Holiness.
Grace, thank you. Yes, it's like you're in heaven. Yes. Hey, Tiger. God bless you. Bless you, Blackwater Tiger. Love Human. Oh, that's a new name. I hope all is well. Thank you, Blackwater. God bless you, brother. Yeah, so, I was kind of hoping, I'll be honest, that Brother Ray was going to be with us today. I'm more Ray. But yeah, his wife came home from the hospital. And so, yeah, so he's, yeah, that's the situation there. So, anyway, keep him in your prayers, keep them in your prayers. She's going through radiation now. And I know it's like, wait a minute, why are you talking so much about it? Well, he's talked about it, and so it's pretty much well known. And so it's yeah, just keep him in your prayers because it's a tough situation. So yeah, well, you know what? I just want to talk a little bit about some possible secret messages in the Quran and secret Christian messages in the Quran. And why would there be secret Christian messages in the Quran? Because the guy who gave Muhammad the Quran, I've talked to you about. Let me see if I can find this here. Let me just see if I can find this. Let me see if I can find this hadith here. Just take me a second here. Oh, thanks, babe. My beautiful wife, always making things better. Okay. I've talked to you guys about him before, and let me see. Okay, yeah, here it is. Let me just read this to you here. I'll put it up so you can see. And there's lots of theories about who this person is, but it's a hadith, and it's Sahih al-Bukhari. So here, let's see. Can you guys see it? Okay, let's read it together here. See what it says here. Why would there be Christian messages in the Quran? Okay, there was a Christian who embraced Islam and read Surah Al-Baqarah and Imran. I just want to see how it says it in Arabic. Okay, okay. قال كان رجل نصرانية فأسلم وقرأ البقرة والعمران فكان يكتب للنبي فعاد نصرانية فكان يقول ما يدري محمد إلا ما كتبت له a very weird hadith this is, okay? It says there was a Christian who embraced Islam and read Surah Al-Baqarah and Surah Al-Imran. Now, you know Surah Al-Baqarah and Surah Al-Imran, those are the two longest chapters in the Quran. Surah Al-Baqarah is the longest. Imran is the one right next to it. And now I heard Christian Prince talking about this the other day, and he wasn't saying that he read it so much as he wrote it. He wrote Al-Baqarah and Al-Imran, okay? And then look what happens, okay? Later on, he returned to Christianity. And he used to say, Muhammad knows nothing but what I have written for him. Then Allah caused him to die and people buried him. But in the morning, they saw the earth had thrown his body out. They said this was an act of Muhammad and his companions. They dug a grave of our companion and took his body out because he had run away from them. They dug the grave deeply for him, but in the morning they saw the earth had thrown the body. They said this is an act of Muhammad. They dug the grave, the companion, I run away from him. But in the morning, again, they saw that the earth has thrown his body out. They believed that what had befallen him was not done by human beings and had to leave him thrown on the ground. Okay, go figure. But, I have a theory, and I've talked about it here, and Father Zechariah has talked about it. And it is that Buhaira, the monk, he was the one who would embrace Islam, the Christian who embraced Islam. And he's the one who gave Muhammad the Quran, because remember that, he would come to Muhammad at night, and he would tell Muhammad stuff, say, go tell the people that there's 70 Houris in paradise. And then Muhammad would say that there's rivers of milk and rivers of honey and rivers of wine. And he says, go and tell people this. And he would tell them these things. And then Muhammad would go tell the people. And then Muhammad one day said to him, hey, who do I say is giving me all this stuff? And he told Muhammad, tell them Jibreel has given it to you, the angel of Jibreel. And so this became the thing, and he used to tell Muhammad stuff at night, and he would go tell the people in the daytime. And the one who did that was Buhaira, the monk Buhaira, okay? And his story is he was an Assyrian Christian. He became a heretic, and then became Muslim, and he said that he wrote the Quran for Muhammad. And but then he repented at the end of his life. He went back and repented. And I've shown you before his confession of what he did and how bad he felt about it. So anyway, I think this hadith is about Buhaira the monk. If somebody else knows something about it, please feel free to tell us, but this hadith fits very well with the story of Buhaira the monk, who, by the way, is also Muhammad's real father. And we've talked about that before. But because of that, when he went back later on, he returned to Christianity again. I think that when he returned to Christianity, he started putting secret messages in the Quran those secret messages to try to correct some of what he created, some of the mistake that he did, and he felt bad. It's like when he returned to the Lord. When he returned, he said that he felt that there was no forgiveness for him for what he did. Okay, but he acknowledged that what he did was wrong, and that he, to quote his words, he unleashed on the Christians wolves, and like he unleashed wolves against God's sheep. And so, yeah, so this is where I think how the secret messages may have gotten into the Quran. Okay. um, so, hey, bless you. How are you, Emmanuel? God bless you, man. So anyway, so based on this, my theory is that it was Bahida the monk, that this is about Bahida, and that because of his repentance, he tried to fix what he did by putting secret messages in the Quran. Now, just now, Love Human, there's also that Waraka bin Nawfal, and we've talked about him, that Waraka bin Nawfal um, was also giving Muhammad stuff, and it's very clear in the Quran. It says that he would give him stuff, and that when Waraka bin Nawfal died, the inspiration ceased. Okay, and let me see. Okay, can you hear me? Yeah, because it's unmuted now. So okay, so the computer works sometimes it doesn't. So it's hard to know when it's. Can you guys hear me now? Can someone give me a one if you can hear me? Yeah. Okay. All right. So anyway, before I go into exactly some of these so-called secret messages, I want to show you another thing in the Quran that's very interesting. And okay, see, okay, thank you, Tiger. Um, and that is, I talked a little bit about this last time. Let me see if I got. I want to show you this again. Let me see if I got this here. Um, okay. You know what? I don't have it, but I can get it real quick. Just give me 1 second here and I'll get it. I'll get it. What I wanted. Let's see. Just take me 1 second here. Okay. Okay. Now again, if you don't know Arabic, this isn't gonna mean much to you, but let me go ahead. I want to show it to you anyway. Um, okay. And this is a mistake that is repeated in the Quran 113 times. Okay, it's this word right here. Now, this is the very first word in the Quran, bism. Okay, now remember with Arabic, you go from right to left, not left to right. So when you go from right to left, you notice that there's that little curly Q there at the very beginning. That's the letter B. Okay, it has the dot underneath it, which makes it the letter B. Then you got the three uh, little curves and the long line, and that's the letter S. And then you got the little circle and a little tail there. That's actually the letter M. Okay, so you have bism. okay, which means in the name. In the Quran, it means in the name of Allah. It doesn't mean in the name. Bism just means in the name, okay? But this is misspelled. This is not how you would, in usual Arabic, you don't spell in the name like this. This is misspelling. And this misspelling is in the Quran 113 times. Why is it 113 times? Because it's the beginning of every surah. Every surah, except for one, the one surah that doesn't have it is Surah At-Tawbah, surah number 9. Every other surah begins with this word right here, in the name of Allah, the merciful and compassionate. But that's not how you write in the name. It's misspelled, okay? And you can say, well, it's poetic license or something like that. It's misspelled. If you ever wrote in the name like this, you would get you'd get an F in school, okay? Because this is misspelled. The way it should be is like this: be ism, be ism, be ism. Okay, that's the way you say in the name of. Okay, and what's interesting is that it is, like I said, you guys, this is written in the Quran 113 times. It's at the beginning of the Fatiha and every other surah except for Surah At-Tawbah, which is number 9. So it's 113 times you got this mistake. Okay, it should be like this. This is the correct way. It's 2 words, it's not 1 word. Here, they compress it into 1 word, but it's not. It's a mistake. It's an error. Now you can say, well, they've been doing it 1400 years. You can't come now and say, I'm just telling you that grammatically, it is a mistake. Okay, the way it should be is the ism, like this. It's 2 words in name. Okay, the ism. And the thing that is interesting about it is that if you look at these verses of the Quran, okay, and we're going to go from again, this is from right to left, okay, that 4 times in the Quran it uses the correct version of this, meaning this right here. So it's not like the Quran doesn't acknowledge that this is a mistake. It very much realizes that it's a mistake. Now, this is in the text of the Quran, okay, not in the opening introduction that they have on every surah. Now, this is Surah 96:1, and it says, "Ikra bi-ism rabbaka alladhi khalaq." Okay, recite in the name of your Lord who created. But all that doesn't matter. What matters is the green word. See the green word there? That green word is bi-ism. It's like this, which is the correct way. So even though the Quran has this incorrect way 113 times, it does have the correct way at least 4 times. Okay. And for instance, this one, you know what? I can't see exactly what this passage is right here, the very first one, but it's correct. فَسَبِّحْ بِإِسْمِ رَبَّكَ الْعَظِيمِ. فَسَبِّحْ بِإِسْمِ رَبَّكَ الْعَظِيمِ. And again, in the name of your great Lord. Rabbak is your Lord, al-Azim, the great. فَسَبِّحْ بِإِسْمِ رَبَّكَ الْعَظِيمِ. Okay, and so there, it's using the correct version, this, instead of this incorrect version, which is used 113 times. Okay, so this is the correct version, and it is in the Quran. So to where you can't say the Quran didn't know, or that they used to write it differently back then. It means exactly the same thing as this is supposed to mean. It's like saying in the name. You know, like when you write something, you say in the name. And this is supposed to be in the name, but if you were to write it like in the English, you would just say the name or something in name, in name. But it's not supposed to be in name. It's supposed to be in the name. And so, you know, you can't say that they used to write it differently back then or that they didn't understand, because it is in the Quran the correct way, at least 4 times. Here it is. فَسَبِّحْ بِإِسْمِ رَبَّكَ الْعَظِيمِ. Praise in the name of your Lord the Great. Okay. Then again, this is Surah 96:1. اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق. Recite, read in the name of your Lord who created. فَسَبِّحْ, and then the other 2 are identical to the first one. فَسَبِّحْ بِاسم ربك العظيم. فَسَبِّحْ, or praise in the name of your Lord the Great. Okay, so they do have it the right way. In the Quran, they have it the right way, which is acknowledging that this is a mistake. And that leads to the question, oops, sorry, Pepper, I'm Pinky. Pinky there was lying down. So I'm just trying to show you that, you know what, they knew the correct way to write it. Why didn't they write it the correct way? Why didn't they? I mean, the Quran is supposed to be the perfect words of Allah. You can't just start writing words however you want. There are so many in the Arabic language, you guys. There are so many spelling errors. There's so many spelling errors in the Arabic Quran. Now you could say, well, look in the English, look at the Quran, the Bible, we got different spellings, and that's different because the Bible you're reading is a translation. Okay, and you know it's English, and they used to spell differently, like color and color. I know that they like to use those explanations, but this is just a misspelling. It's just a misspelling, and if it was just one time, it's not. It's 113 times this mistake. 113 times there's this mistake in the Quran. At the beginning of every single surah, the first word in every single surah, except for number 9, is wrong. It's a misspelled word. Now, they say that, you know, it's because to make it flow out of your tongue. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of Allah, the merciful and compassionate. But it's still misspelled, and it's misspelling. And call it poetic license if you want. It's a spelling error. Okay. And so 113 times, because it's at the beginning, it's the first word of every single, it's the first word of every surah. Of the 114 surahs, the beginning of every single surah is this word. This is the first word in every single surah except for chapter 9. And it's wrong. It's misspelled. It's a misspelling. Let me see here. The very word of Bismillah is uncomplicated. La, written wrongly. Please explain. Okay. That, you see, now we're getting into another area. You know, the la is where you really see the la problem is later in the Mo has edited, yes. If you look in Surah Al-Fatiha, you know, Surah number 1, here it says, you know, Alhamdulillah, the thanks. Okay, the problem is the word here, lillah. It doesn't say to Allah. It says lillah, to la. the L at the beginning of that, I'm not showing it to you here, but I could. That's a great question, and it's you know, somebody who knows Arabic better than me could really explain it much better than I can. But I will. Let me just. Okay, let me go ahead and attempt it to explain it a little bit. Uh, and again, it's going to be a little bit hard if you don't know the Arabic, but I think you guys know. It's number one. It's Surah number one, verse one. Blackwater. It's Surah number one, verse one. Okay. Um, Now you see, Blackwater does know Arabic. Oh, leave that. Okay, let me show you this. You're bringing in another issue, and I'll go. I'll just go to this because it really is a good. It's a really good question because it is part of the same problem. This right here is. Oh, I'm sorry. It's the second verse of the Quran. Hamdu lillah. Praise to Allah. Okay, and this is the second word right here. Li la. Li la. It's not to Allah. That's how they translate it. And I know when Muslims say it, that's what they mean. It's to Allah, but that's not what it says. It says the L, the C, I remember Arabic starts from the right to the left. So the very first, you see that line that goes down there, that's a L. Okay, and that L means to. Li means to. It does not mean Allah. And now this looks a lot like Allah if you've seen how Allah is written, but it's not Allah. It's to. And it's to who? It's not even, you could say, well, to the God, li lil ilah, to the God. But that still, this doesn't say that. This says to la. Hamdu means the praise to la. Who's la? Who is la? It is the moon god was called La. That was the moon god that they used to worship in Arabia. Okay, to La, li La. So this is a big problem, and there's an even bigger problem, and that is why is Allah saying this? Because Allah is supposed to be the one saying this. The Quran is supposed to be Allah's words. And I know that we have talked about this, that in the Quran, there's at least 3 times where it talks about Allah praying. Allah malaikatu yusallun. Allah and his angels pray upon the Prophet, or to the Prophet, or on the Prophet. Somehow it's in ala in Arabic. Yusallun ala nabi. Well, it doesn't matter if it's on or under or whatever. What matters is the fact that Allah's praying. Who's he praying to? Why is Allah praying? Isn't he the Almighty who's supposed to do everything? Is he praying to himself? Is he praying to another God? Is he praying to Muhammad? Who is Allah praying to? 3 times the Quran says this. Allah wa malaikatu yusallun ala nabi. Allah and his angels pray upon the Prophet. Then there's one that says, الذي عليهم صلوات من ربهم. Those are the ones upon whom are the prayers of their Lord. Well, their Lord is praying. You got these verses in the Quran where Allah is praying to somebody. Well, here you have Allah worshiping. You have Allah worshiping. He's saying hamdu. That when you say hamdulillah, it's like you're saying praise the Lord. It's like in English saying praise the Lord. Who's Allah saying that to? Why is Allah saying that? Why is Allah saying, praise the Lord? As if the Lord is someone other than himself. And this is the reason, you guys, why Abdullah bin Mas'ud did not have the Fatiha in his Quran. Abdullah bin Mas'ud's Quran was only 111 surahs. He did not have this number one, and he didn't have 112, 113, and 114. He didn't have those three. He said those aren't prayers. Okay, I mean those aren't surahs. But this one, he said, was a prayer. But that doesn't really resolve the situation. Why is Allah praying? And who is he worshiping when he says, Hamdu lillah? And the word there, lillah, that means to la. Okay, to la. It does not mean Allah. Okay, but because I did bring this up, I should show you. I should show you. Just because it is very similar to the word Allah. Okay. Let me show you the word Allah in Arabic. Because it's very similar. It looks like it. I mean, if you're looking at it, it looks almost the same as Allah, you know, right here. See, look at how similar they look. The only difference is the line at the very beginning. See the line, and remember, you're looking from right to left, not left to right. And look, they look almost identical, don't they? They look the same. But when it says praise, it's not praise Allah. It doesn't say that. It says praise to La. Okay. And so that's how you say, how you write Allah. Okay. But this is how you say to La. Who is La? And I know Muslims say, and if you guys, and I know this is Arabic, so it's like, it's hard, but you know, sometimes the people say, well, La is a contraction, you know, of Allah, you know. No, it's not. Because it's not a contraction, it's not his name. It's saying to. It's saying to La. Not if you were going to say to the God, which in Arabic they do say Ilah, El Ilah, El Ilah. El Ilah means the God. Okay, so you could say to the God, but that's not what it's saying. This does not say it El Ilah, Ilah El Ilah. It doesn't say that. It says to La. I mean, it's a grammatical nightmare. A grammatical nightmare because it doesn't mean what everyone says it means. It very clearly doesn't. And a fourth grade, a kindergarten kid could tell you this does not mean to Allah. This means to La. La. And that means there's somebody named La. And I know you guys have all heard it. I know you guys have all heard it from Christian Prince, that was really one of the gods that the pagan Arabs used to worship. And there's many other pagan Arabs that are mentioned in the Quran. For instance, Rahman, Ar-Rahman, Bismillah Ar-Rahman. And there's a lot of mistakes in this. If you're looking at it grammatically, now everybody has memorized this. This is like Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name to the Christians. The Fatiha is that way to the Muslim. They've all memorized it. They pray it. If they do their regular 5 times a day prayer, they do it 17 times a day. If they go to a wedding, they say it. If they go to a funeral, they say it. If it's a baby's born, they say it. It's the number one prayer that Muslims say. And so, but there's lots of mistakes in it. Lots of mistakes. And Somebody saying something. This is because Mo gets his stuff from Waraka and his doctor, both of whom came. Okay, Waraka bin Nawfal. Okay, well, okay, here's someone saying something. Or for sin, the bull god that flows into Allah. Okay, there's more details. And I'm just kind of looking at the linguistic issues here. And the linguistic issue here is a huge mistake. But going back just to what I was saying about this word, bism. Okay, this is a misspelled word. It's in the Quran 113 times. And it's supposed to mean in the name, but this is not how you say in the name. It's misspelled. It's a misspelled word. Okay, it's supposed to be like this. And you can't say, well, Muhammad didn't know about it when he wrote the Quran, because he did spell it correctly at least 4 times in the Quran. Okay, in chapter 69:52, fasabbih bi-ism, not bism, bi-ism. Okay. 56:96, fasabbih bi-ism al-alaq. Okay, ikra bi-ism. Okay, every time they say it the right way, they write it the right way. Why is it misspelled at the beginning all these times when they know that this is the correct way to write it? And the proof is it's in there 4 times. Okay, so that, if somebody has an answer, if there's a Muslim out there who can explain this to us, I'd be willing to listen, because it looks like a mistake. And it's looked like a mistake that's repeated so many times. It's the first word of every surah except for number 9, surah number 9. And the song Number 9 by the Beatles, you guys. Revolution number 9. No. Okay. Fasabbih bi-ism. Now, you guys, so anyway, I just kind of wanted to show that a little bit. And then I wanted to about the secret message. And I've seen this, you guys, and I don't know if there's somebody else out there who understands Arabic better than me, who knows this particular topic better than me. Please, I'm willing to have you come up and explain it. I want to actually go get the board, and I want to write this, because I want to show you the quote unquote secret message. Okay, and in the meantime, while I'm doing that, I'm going to just play a song for you guys. Let me see if I have it here. Okay. This is my niece. Okay, and my niece in Brazil. Okay, this is a song in Brazil.
Meu Senhor, teu amor é como chuva, ouviu minha oração com tua chuva dentro do meu coração. Deixa chover. Cantai ao Senhor com ação de graças que prepara chuva para a terra. teu amor, o teu amor deixa chover. Meu Senhor, teu amor é como chuva.
Hey, got you back. So anyway, this is what I was going to show you, and it's from the verses that I just showed you. Let me just go back and show you this again. All right, this right here. فسبح باسم ربك العظيم. Okay, it's from the Secret Christian Message, okay? And I know there's people going to say, oh, this is nutty, you shouldn't say. But you know what? I think that there is some possibility that this is correct, that this is one of those secret messages that Christian gave to Muhammad. Okay, now this is the word. This is the word in Arabic, fasabbih. Fasabbih. Okay, now this right here is F. Okay, F is okay, it has F is usually like that. Okay, this is how you write the letter F in Arabic. F. And then this long line right there is the S. Okay, S. And then you see the dot underneath here? This dot makes it a B. Fasabbih. And this is the H at the end right there. Fasabbih. Sabbih ism rabbak al-azim. Fasabbih ism rabbak al-azim. Okay, so you got these two in this word fasabbih. You know, if you're going to transliterate it, this is how you would transliterate it. That's kind of how, see the way that's written up there? Fa sa bih. Fasab. Now this is in the Quran 3 times, you guys. 3 times it says this. Fasab, which means praise. Sabbih means to praise. So praise the name of your great Lord. Fasabbih ism rabbak al-azim. Fasabbih ism rabbak al-azim. Okay. Well, you know what? Who knows something that was not in Uthman's original Quran? What is something that was not in Uthman's original Quran that you see here? See if you guys see from the Arabic, look at the Arabic. What is something in this Arabic script that was not in Uthman's original Quran? See if anybody gets it. Okay, what is it? Who knows? What is, who knows? There's something in the Arabic text that was not in Uthman's original Quran. Who knows what it is? Oops. Okay. Okay, let me just tell you. I will tell you. Okay, what was not in Uthman's original Quran is the diacritical marks. There were no diacritical marks in Uthman's original Quran. Okay. Okay, I gotta go. So originally it was just like this. it was just like this, without the diacritical marks, without this line down here. And I know this doesn't mean nothing to you. Okay. I know this doesn't mean nothing to you. Okay. But there were not originally in the Arabic, there were not diacritical marks in his original Quran, so that you could put the diacritical marks in different places. And if you did that, for instance, you did not put the dot on top of the circle there, and instead you put 2 dots over here. Put 2 dots over here. Who knows what this says in Arabic? Who knows what this says in Arabic? If you just move the diacritical marks, take one off of there and put it down here. What does this say in Arabic? Who knows? Does anybody know what this says in Arabic? $5 if you guys guess what this says in Arabic. Without, when you take the diacritical, and remember, Uthman did not have the diacritical marks. When you take the diacritical marks off, okay, and it's the original way that it was, and then, and you guys, don't think that this didn't happen. Just look at the difference between the Hafs and the Warsh, and you'll see how messed up the diacritical mark issue is. It's one of the biggest reasons why you have all these different, it's why you have all these different Qur'ans. You know, the different Qira'at is because of the diacritical marks. That's one of the biggest differences between the different Qur'ans, is the diacritical marks. And it's because there was no diacritical marks in the original Qur'an. Okay, there was no diacritical marks yet. They didn't have them yet. Okay, they added them later. It's almost 100 years later before they started putting diacritical marks. And when they started putting the diacritical marks, they put them all over the place and got it completely messed up. You know, my favorite example, and I've showed it to you many times, you got to know the Arabic, but is it's talking about angels. And it says, you know, because of one diacritical mark, they put the diacritical mark on top, and it says the angels are with the Lord, or with Allah. The angels are with Allah. Okay, and it's because in Arabic, and Allah. But then if you put the diacritical mark underneath instead of on top of that word, it becomes slaves. The angels are slaves of Allah. It's abad Allah. And it's because of, yeah, I know the Arabic is, it really isn't that hard, you guys, but anyway, let me just tell you, with this particular word, okay, and I'm just going to show you originally how I had it, okay? I'm going to take all this other stuff off just so that you guys could see it. Okay, now this, okay, this is the way it is in the Quran right now. Okay, this is the way it is in the Quran right now. Okay, fasabbih, which means so worship, so praise. And the reason it's fasabbih is because it's got the dot right there, and you got the dot right there. It turns it fasabbih, which means so praise. But I told you there was no diacritical marks in the original Uthmani Quran. So if I was to take away this diacritical mark, because originally it wasn't there. It wasn't there in Uthman's Quran. It wasn't there. So I'm just going to take it off. And I'm going to put it over here instead. And I have absolute right to do that because that's what all of them did. That's what all of them did. They all did the same thing when they were writing the Quran. They just kind of put these diacritical marks wherever they wanted. Okay, and instead I put, instead of the dot up there, put 2 dots. Instead of the dot up there, I put 2 dots down here. And it turns into, who can tell me, what does this say in Arabic? Still waiting. Does anybody know what it says in Arabic? It says Masih. Masih. Who knows what Masih means? Who knows what Masih means? It means Messiah. It means Christ. And when you do it that way, guys, then look what the verse says. Messiah, thank you. You see, Houston, Messiah. You see, it says Messiah. Now look at what this verse says. Okay, here it says, فَسَبِّحْ بِاسْمِ رَبَّكَ الْعَظِيمِ. And when you take the dots off, you change the diacritical marks because the diacritical marks weren't there originally. This could be a message, Masih ism Rabbak al-Azim, which means the Christ is the name of your great Lord. Christ is the name of your great Lord. Okay? So all you got, changing the diacritical marks, and it turns into Christ is the name of your great Lord. Instead of so praise the name of your great Lord, it becomes Christ is the name of your great Lord. And you absolutely can do this. Why? Because they did it. They already did it. That's why you got these 37 different Qur'ans, mostly because of the diacritical marks. You take the dots off of F and put it down here, and it changes fasabbih to Masih. And so where it's not, instead of saying, so praise the name of your great Lord, it's saying Christ is the name of your great Lord. And so is that one of the secret messages that Buhaira the monk, I know you guys, it's Arabic, it's very hard and everything like that. But you know what? I don't think it's that hard. I don't think it's that hard. And I think that it's, especially if you know the Arabic, letters, you know, it's, sorry, you guys, I can't put pinky up there. So anyway, guys, that was what I think was one of the secret messages. And I'm not the only one. I didn't just come up with this myself. I saw this before. Okay. It's okay. Let me show you what surahs. It's actually in 3 surahs. Okay. Somebody asking what surah is it in? It's actually in 3 surahs. One of them is 5696, and the other is 6952. Okay. And it's actually in another one too, but I can't see the, let me see if I could, let me see if, you know, I can't see it because of the, shoot. I wonder if there's another way I could open it. Okay. Let me see if 1, 2, 3, you know. I actually had it opened. Let me see if I can, okay. It's 5674. Wait a second, is it there? Okay, 5674, 5696, 6952. All 3 of them say فَسَبِّحْ ism Rabbak al-Azim. But if you just move one dot, it turns into Masih bi-ism Rabbak al-Azim. That the Christ is the name of your great Lord. To where, and I think this is real. I think this is right, you guys, that maybe Buhaira put a secret message in there. So, okay. So I know this is kind of sleuthing detective work here, but you know what? I'm not the one who came up with this. I actually read this in a book. And so just so you know that this is, let me just show it to you again. Okay, I just want to show it to you again. Okay. This is the way it's written in the Quran. Okay, this is the way it's written. Okay, and remember, it's from right to left, not left to right. Fasabbih. So praise. So praise is what this means. Has the, with the F. Fasabbih. But if you, oops, sorry, you guys. Oops. Okay. This is somebody calling from the Middle East, you guys. So I'm not sure who it is actually. Somebody from Egypt. So let me go ahead. Sorry, I can't. Don't know how to turn it off. So anyway, guys. But like I said, you just turn this right here. But it's still here though. It's still on the computer though. Okay, and put one dot over here. Put one dot over here instead. One dot like that. And you change the word from fasabbah, so worship, to Masih. Masih. And it becomes Masih bi'ism rabbakil azim. Christ is the name of the great Lord. So, you know what? The original Quran did not have diacritical marks. They came later and put the diacritical marks in. And, and they made it in a way to fit their doctrines and what they believe. But originally, they did not have the diacritical marks. And because they didn't have the diacritical marks, you guys, they had issues like this. Okay, let me just show you some of the issues. And I've showed it to you many times before, but I think it's probably appropriate right now to show you. This right here, this is one of my favorite examples, is this word right here. And again, you guys, from right to left, it means with. Rind, it means with. Okay, and you find it in this verse right here. وَجَعَلُوا الْمَلَائِكَ الَّذِي هُمَّ. Okay, but if you just move the dot, you see the dot on top there, and move it underneath instead, it changes the word from rind, which means with, to abd, abd, which means slave. If you read the Hafs Quran, the Hafs Quran says rind, with. But the Warsh Quran, they put the dot underneath. And that makes it into this, Abad al-Quran, Abad al-Rahman, which means slaves of Allah. So one means with Allah, one means slaves of Allah. And the difference is just the diacritical mark. And so this is not really that outlandish because it happens so many times in the Quran that they couldn't agree where to put the diacritical marks. So they ended up with all of these different Qurans. And they're all different because of the diacritical marks. Let me show you another example. This right here. Okay, if you look at the top, 258, it says the word in the Hafs Quran is naghfir. You can see the three dots next to each other on top there. When you put the dots on top, it's naghfir, which means we forgive. But go to the one on bottom, which is the Warsh Quran, and they have the dots on the bottom, which changes it to yaghfir. And what that changes the meaning to, he gives mercy. So it goes from we gives mercy to he. Why? Because of the diacritical mark. And this one is the hafs, one is the warsh. You got two completely different meanings there. Here's another. Kul. Okay. Okay, this one is more than just a diacritical mark issue. But okay, this is the difference right here in the angels. Humma abad ar-Rahman. They are the slaves of the merciful. Whereas in the Warsh, it's Humma ind ar-Rahman. They are with the merciful. And the only difference, you guys, is the diacritical marks. It completely changes the meaning. Completely. One says they are slaves of the Most High. One says they are with the Most High because of one dot. Because they didn't originally have dots, they had to figure out, so where do we put the dots? They put them in different places, and they came up with different Qur'ans. Okay, here's another. This is a very common mistake that happens, is they decide to put the dots on top or on the bottom. If you put it on top, it says tajma'un, which means you gather. And then, but if you put the dots on the bottom, it becomes yajma'un, which means they gather. So you completely change the meaning of the sentence because of the diacritical marks. So I know if you don't know Arabic, this is boring and it's hard to understand. But, the reason I'm telling you this is just to show you that this is indeed a very plausible thing, that this doesn't mean, so let's praise the name of the Lord. But what it really means is Messiah is the name of the Lord. Masih, the ism, Rabbak al-Azim. Masih. So, anyway, so is that a secret message in the Quran? I think so. A lot of people don't agree, but, like I said, I didn't come up with this. This is, like I said, I read this actually in a book. So, all right, I was going to look at the question. Michelle says, Allahu Akbar, is that the Bismillah? Allahu Akbar means Allah, He is the greatest or the biggest. Actually, Akbar does not mean great. The word for great in Arabic is Azim. If you want to say Allah's the greatest, you say Allahu al-Azam. But it doesn't say that. It says Allahu Akbar, which means He's bigger. Akbar, Kabir means big. Akbar means bigger. Okay, so Allahu Akbar means Allah, He is bigger. That's literally what it means. He is bigger. Now I know how well they use it, and they're going to say it means great. The word for great is one of the names of Allah in the Quran. It's Azim. Il-Azim. Okay, so it doesn't mean Allah's the greatest. It means He's bigger. And it doesn't mean He's the biggest. It doesn't mean He's the biggest. It means He's bigger. Well, bigger doesn't work. You don't just say something like that. Allah, He is bigger. You don't just say that. You got to say He's the biggest. Okay? Because when you say He's bigger, that means He's bigger than what? He has to be bigger than someone. Isn't that right, Ilyas? You know that, right? But أنت بتعرف عربي يا حبيبي؟ اسمك عربي بس أنت بتعرفش عربي. لو بتعرف عربي شو ممكن طلعت وتيجي تكلمنا. Yeah, you know that I'm right, Ilyas? Is what I'm saying wrong? Do you know Arabic, Ilyas? I mean, your name is Arabic. The word Allahu Akbar, it's another grammatical. All these Islamic phrases are grammatically wrong. Okay, Allahu Akbar means Allah, He is bigger. The word Kabir means big in Arabic. Akbar means bigger. Okay, so saying Allah, He is bigger. But when you say bigger, you have to ask, bigger than what? Bigger than what? It's similar to the situation where it says Allahu Ahad. Allah is one. It doesn't say Allah is one. It says Allah is one of. Meaning there's one of something. One of something. Okay? And so I know Arabic enough to know that it's incorrect. Okay. Tell me, Ilyas. Allahu Akbar. Allah is bigger. You know the word Kabir. If you know Arabic, Ilyas, you know that the word Akbar means bigger. It doesn't mean greater, right? Do you agree that that's correct, Ilyas? Do you agree that I'm right about that? Allahu Akbar, you know, he is bigger, right? You do believe that, right? Because it's right. Whether you believe it or not, it's right. Okay, but I just want to see if you, okay, the word in Arabic is like this. Okay, let me show you the word in Arabic. Okay, the root word in Arabic is this right here, kabir. Kabir. Okay, and that means big. If you look the word kabir, it means big. And when you say akbar, goes like this on the bottom. Akbar. Akbar means bigger. Allah is bigger. Allah is big. Allah is bigger. Kabir means big. Saghir means small. Saghir means small. Okay, but Kabir means big. It doesn't mean great, though. And so, Ilyas, I don't think you do know Arabic if you think what I'm saying is wrong, because what I'm saying is correct. Okay, is it? Kabir is a chicken variety. I think you're thinking about KFC. No, but you know I'm right, right? Ilyas, you know that I am right, right? Because I am right. I I am right. I know that I'm right. Kabir means big. It doesn't mean great. Great is azim. And the Quran uses the word azim. In fact, it uses it right here. The Quran uses the word azim a lot. In fact, it's right here. Okay, let's look at what like I said, you know, I mean, right here, the Quran uses the word azim. Right here. Ism rabbak al-azim. It's the fourth word here. It's at least three times in the Quran. Ism rabbak al-azim. The name of your Lord, the Great, al-azim. That's why al-azim, the Great, is one of the names of Allah. It's one of his 99 beautiful names, is al-azim. But Allahu Akbar does not mean Allah is great. Allahu Akbar means Allah is bigger. And there's two problems with that. So what you're saying is he's big, not great. But then the other problem is bigger than what? Akbar min al-jabal, akbar min al-ard, akbar min al-kawn. You know, bigger than the earth, bigger than the universe, al-kawn, akbar min al-kawn. But he has to be akbar min something. He has to be bigger than something. Okay? It doesn't make sense if you just say Allahu Akbar. Okay? But if you hear it, beware. Okay? Bigger than potato. Yes, Truth Defender. Bigger than a mountain. If Allah is not like the creation, what is the comparison to another deity that would be polytheism? Well, you know what? That's exactly the same problem when they have Allahu Ahad. Allah is one, but the word in Arabic is Ahad, not Wahad. Wahad means one. Ahad means one of. And so it's the same problem, exactly the same problem with Akbar. Allahu Akbar. He's bigger than what? Okay, I'm right. Thank you, Ilyas. I appreciate it. See, you guys, Ilyas has stopped commenting, which means he agrees with me. I appreciate that, Ilyas, because it proves that you are mature. When you make a mistake, when you're wrong, you're willing to admit it. And when I'm right, you're willing to admit that I'm right. And that takes maturity. And I appreciate that, Ilyas. Thank you for agreeing with me, my friend, because I am right about this. So, okay. Like Rhode Island Red, Otto Lorp, and Kabir. I mean chicken breed. Kabir maybe is. Yeah. Yes. There's lots of Arabic words that are similar in yeah. Chicken variety. That makes me hungry though. So anyway, guys, but going back to my main topic for today, where it says فَسَبِّحْ اسْمَكْ اسم ربك العظيم, I think it really was Masih Bism Rabbak al-Azim. Jesus is the name of your great Lord. And I think this was, and it goes all back, you guys, it all goes back to it all goes back to this hadith. Okay. Okay, it all goes back to this hadith right here. There was a Christian who embraced Islam and read Surah Al-Baqarah and Imran. He used to write the revelations for the Prophet. Later, he returned to Christianity again and used to say, Muhammad knows nothing but what I have written for him. I believe that was the priest Buhaira, the Syrian monk, who is probably one of Sam Shamoun's relatives. And he Buhaira apostated, he became an apostate, but then he repented at the end and came back. Just like this hadith says. And to where he started putting secret messages in the Quran, because he knows that he let a genie out of the bottle that he couldn't put back in. It had got out of his hand by then. So he tried to fix what he did. So anyway, it's a theory, but I'm not the only one who believes it, you guys. A lot of people believe it. And you guys, I just really want to say that I've seen growth in Ilyas as a person. I really appreciate that, because Ilyas agrees with me. He was saying that I was saying it incorrectly. And but now, after I explained it, he's not complaining anymore. He's not saying that I'm wrong, which I believe means he agrees with me. And it takes a lot. It takes a real man to admit when he's wrong and when I'm right. It takes a real man to admit that I'm right. And so he apparently admits that I'm right, which I appreciate. Thank you, Ilyas. And I'm really happy for you as a person, just that you have grown that much. So you know that I'm right. So all right, you guys. Well, I think that's enough for today. You know what? I had a little special song I wanted to do. I'm not sure if I'm ready to do it. Let me see if I am. Let me see. Okay. You know what? I'm not ready. Maybe tomorrow I'll do it. So, okay, guys. Thank you. Yes, thank you, Michelle. Not to go off top, but did you know that of the 4 people who breastfeed Muhammad, one wasn't? Oh, Truth Defender here is bringing new revelations, you guys. Truth Defender, you need to have a channel, my friend, with all your knowledge, man. Not to go off topic, but did you know that out of the 4 people to breastfeed Muhammad, one was a man? No, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I'm sure you have the source, though. Oh, jeez. Do you have the source for that, Truth Defender? You know what is interesting? Just staying on the subject of breastfeeding and number 4, because you said 4, there's another relationship between number 4 and breastfeeding, and that is Muhammad said to take the Quran from 4 people. Okay. Of the 4, one was Abdullah bin Mas'ud, Ubay bin Ka'b. There's this other guy, I always forget his name, but the 4th guy was a guy named Salim. And Salim, okay, Salim was the slave that Muhammad said needs to be breastfed from his master's wife. Remember when the master's wife came to Muhammad and said, my husband Abu Hudayfa is upset because Salim always comes in. He used to be a little boy, but now he's a grown man. He's got a little beard going. And Muhammad said, well, breastfeed him. That's the answer. That's how you're going to heal this jealousy in your husband. And she said, but he's a grown man, O Prophet, peace be upon you. And then it says Muhammad smiled and he said, I know he's a grown man. And so Saddam is one of the ones that you're supposed to take the Quran from. Of the 4 people that you're supposed to take the Quran, one of them is Saddam, the one who was breastfed by this his master's wife. So let me check my phone here, you guys. Oh. Oh, Robert Spencer's new book. Dang. This is from Robert Spencer's new book. Okay. Dang. It says, meanwhile, there is the Quran itself, which mentions the name Muhammad 4 times. None of these mentions include a biographical information about the Prophet. All could be using Muhammad as a title, praised one, rather than as a proper name. One of these states, and those who believe and do good works believe in what is revealed to Muhammad, and it is the truth from their Lord. He rids them of their sins and improves their condition. Okay, now this is about his name being Muhammad 4 times in the Quran. I thought was there something about the breastfeeding? Yes, but our friend Truth Defender also pointed out about the fact that the Quran only says Muhammad 4 times, and each of those times, you guys, it very easily could not be. Oh, it didn't go through. Okay, he was sending me something, but it didn't go through. That it could be a title rather than a name. Okay, I think I got it now. Okay. You guys make sure and thank Truth Defender for this. Al-Kafi. Okay, Al-Kafi is the Shiite Sahih al-Bukhari. There's the Bukhari, which is Sunni, and then there's the Shiite. Oh, you guys, this is going to be painful. Okay, but this is Al-Kafi, okay? It says, Muhammad bin Yahya narrated from Sa'ad ibn Abdullah from Ibrahim al-Thaqafi ibn Mu'ala. Now, this, you guys, this is, Al-Kafi is, for the Shiites, the equivalent of Sahih al-Bukhari. I mean, this is the highest, most authentic hadiths for the Shiites. And a lot of their hadiths are, overlap with what the Sunnis have. It says, when the Holy Prophet was born, he remained for days without milk. Abu Talib himself breastfed him and sent milk through his yabaye. Allah sent milk through his yabaye, 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 yay, yay. Okay, now you guys, we all have the same purpose, which is to try to get this out of our heads. Jeepers. Okay. Okay. Gave them, the bird died, and oh boy, yeah. Suckling the man. Yeah, boy, yeah. Okay, I'm going to need to read these all so that I get, they're a little bit long, so it's going to take me a little while to read them. Ahmed Euler, that's a great question there about Ahmed. I think you probably know, but let me go ahead and just because actually Ahmed means you can use Ahmed, and it's used in Christian songs. Ahmaduka. Ahmaduka means I praise you. And there's one of my favorite Christian songs actually has that. Let's see what time. It's 10:24. It's not that late. I could actually do the song. Uh, Ahmed means, it also means praise. It comes from the same root word, which is hamd. Hamd, HMD, which is part of Muhammad's name. The praised one, Muhammad. Ahmed, I praise. I praise. Ahmed means I praise. Ahmed. And then there's Mahmud, which is praised, the praised one. Muhammad means the praise of Mahmud. I'm not sure exactly what the difference between Mahmud and there's a little difference between Mahmud because those are the three names that go together: Ahmed, Mahmud, and Muhammad. You know, everybody, all Muslim families have three who have three sons. They named them Ahmed, Mahmud, and Muhammad. My uncles did, and but it, but yeah, but the word Ahmed. Okay, I got something else going here. Oh, my beautiful wife. All right. Well, you know what? Since it isn't that late, and I do have this, I'm going to go ahead and do the song for you, just to end this on a less Islamic focus. Okay, it actually uses the word Ahmed in this song. It's a Christian song. It's a beautiful worship song. It may not be beautiful the way I sing it, but it is beautiful. So it's one of my favorite uh, Christian Arabic songs, and it has the word Ahmaduka, Ahmed, in it, which means I praise you. So, okay. Huh? Oh, you know it? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. My wife knows it. So. سألوا بحضنك من جهلي من شهواتي لا نخشى الموت فقد صرت أنت حياتي سألوا بحضنك من جهلي من شهواتي لا نخشى الموت فقد صرت أنت حياتي أدعوك تعال وفي قلبي شوق غامر وبقربك في عمري عمر آخر دعوك تعال وفي قلبي شوق غامر وبقربك يولد في عمري عمر آخر إلهي أنت أحمدك right there أرفعك أشدو لك إلهي أنت أحمدك أحمدك أرفعك أشدو لك والقلب يغني فأسمع صوتك قد نادى أراك الحب أراك الفرحة وزادت والنفس تهيم بك شوقا أنت مناها وحياتي بقربك غالبة ما أباها إلهي أنت أحمدك أحمدك أرفعك أشجو لك إلهي أنت أحمدك أرفعك أشجو لك. I love that song. That's such a beautiful song. I mean, it's beautiful. The way I do it may not be beautiful, but the song is beautiful. So, yeah. So here's Pinky. Some of you were worried about Pinky. Um, so anyway, you guys, thank you for hanging out. I had a friend named Hamoudi. I have a brother. My brother's name. So they called him Ahmed. Okay, it was. Well, you know what? It's probably that his name is really Ahmed, and they started calling him Hamoudi. Hamoudi is not usually a name. It's usually like Hamoudi is usually like like an affectionate, like somebody might call me Stevie. Stevie. Kind of like an affectionate way of saying Steve. Or so. But the real name is Ahmed. So that I don't think his name would be Hamoudi, and then they would uh, like do the affectionate name Ahmed. I think it's the other way around. So yeah, like what? My wife says it's like boo boo, which is what I call my wife. So, so all right, you guys. Term of endearment. Thank you, Truth Defender. Yeah, term of endearment. Yeah. Habir. Habir. Yeah. So it's most likely his name is Ahmed, and they affectionately called him Hamoudi because that's kind of like, yeah, an affectionate way that, like the mom, she calls her little son, uh, she'll call her Mikey instead of Michael, Mikey, or was that Marky or Johnny when his name is really John, call him Johnny, or everybody's name, they kind of make it affectionate. Jesus actually kind of did that with the disciples. He came up with affectionate names, like he called them sons of thunder, kind of humorous, and stuff. So Ahmed, no, Ahmed does not mean comforter. I know there's that whole thing about paraclete and all that. They try to, to work. Ahmed means like to praise. It comes from the word hamd, which Muhammad comes from, which means to praise, and does not mean comforter. And comforter in Arabic is al-mu'azzi. Al-mu'azzi. Uh, Comfort is azat, azat, and the one who comforts is called mu'azzi. Okay, so what they're trying to say is that they've gone to the Greek and came up with from paraclete, which is the word for the Holy Spirit. In when Jesus said, "I'm going to send you the Comforter," the word is paraclete, and they're trying to say Paracletus means Muhammad or Ahmed, and crazy. We should do something about that because they really do believe that. So yeah. And no, then the Mahmed thing is a different issue altogether. Mahmedim, which is what, Solomon's wife and Ezekiel's wife, and so which would require great time travel. If that's supposed to be Muhammad, because it's in the Song of Solomon, the book that Ahmed Didat always accused of being pornography, and yet he said he found Muhammad in it, in the book, in the word Mahmedim, which means like the beloved, but it's specifically talking about the wife. It's the female. And Ezekiel's wife is called Mahmedim too, and so is the temple. The temple is called Mahmedim. It's a word that so they're desperate. They're so desperate. In fact, since I got you guys here, let me just, because I actually got to talk to a guy about this a few days ago, and I didn't really show you guys what I did Friday, but let me just show you this because this did come up. This subject, because it is relevant to it is relevant to what we're talking about. So let me go ahead and show you what happened on Friday. Because I actually got into an argument, not an argument, but a discussion with a guy about this. This is from our Friday when I went out witnessing. Okay. إلهي أنت. Okay. Okay. Are you guys seeing this? Okay. This is when I went out witnessing. In America?
You don't know that?
No, I don't know
So
that.
that's-
Because in
that's
America
why-
we
that's
have
why
laws.
you-
People go to jail.
You
But in Pakistan, they don't. They
No,
just
you
kill the
USA,
Christians. They
USA,
barbecue the Christians,
USA.
right?
Very
But
nice.
that's what Muhammad said to do, right?
Die. He didn't die yet.
No, he says,
No,
peace
no,
be
no.
on me the
So-
day I'm born,
no,
the
no,
day I die, the day I come back to life.
The day when he will die, he's gonna come. Because
He died and came back to life on the cross.
He's
He
still
did.
alive.
Where does it say Rufer? Where does it say? Where? You're the first person like this. That's all. I will get you a Coca-Cola, man, but
Which
Muslim.
church you go to? I will talk to your father.
I'm not going to tell you. Yeah, you want to talk? My father died. My father
no,
died.
no, father of the church.
Oh, the father. Okay. No,
Yeah,
we don't have fathers in my church.
The priest.
Yeah.
The priest. Which kind of church you go?
Yeah.
Methodist.
It's
The Seventh-day Adventist.
Episcopal. Okay, this guy's trying to find out what church I'm at because he wants to come do dawah in front of the church. So I told him I go to the Episcopalian Bangladesh Church.
You go. Which church you go?
You know,
Which church you go?
I go to a lot of churches.
Which one? Which one is the main church?
Yeah.
Close to your home.
Yeah, yeah. There's one close to my house.
Which one?
Yeah, there's lots of them. I go to lots of churches.
No, which one is the main one?
Yeah.
Because somebody has one of the main. You can go anywhere. But
Yeah, I go to a lot of churches.
But usually I come this one. Right? I go anywhere, but I come this one. So
This
which
one?
one you go to?
Why do you come to this one? Are you Shiite?
I'm not Shia. I'm not Sunni. I'm not.
Are Shiites Muslims?
I'm just talking to you that
Are
which church you
Shiites
go. Which
Muslim?
church you go. So I will talk to your father.
I'm not going to tell you. Yeah, you want to talk? My father died. My father died.
No, father of the church.
Oh, the father. Okay. No,
Yeah,
we don't have fathers in my church.
The priest.
Yeah.
The priest. Which kind of church you go?
Yeah.
Methodist.
It's
The Seventh-day Adventist.
Episcopalian. Yeah, Episcopalian. Yeah, Episcopalian of Bangladesh. So
Episcopalian.
yeah, what country are you from?
I'm from where you think?
I'm in Bangladesh, Pakistan, where they burned the churches and the Christians, right?
Maybe India.
Oh, maybe India.
Maybe India.
Okay,
Maybe Afghanistan. How you know?
I don't know. It
Yeah,
doesn't matter. But
yeah. Predict anything.
you know, did Muhammad go to heaven? Did Muhammad go to heaven? Muhammad, your prophet, did he go to heaven?
You say you've been a Muslim, so you don't have to ask me. You know that.
But there's a verse in the Quran that doesn't say that.
You say you've been a Muslim, so
Yeah.
you should know better than me.
I know, but there's a verse in the
Why are you
Quran.
asking me?
There's a verse in the Quran where Muhammad says, "Ma adri mada yaf'al bi aw bikum." I don't know what's going to happen to me or you. Muhammad said that in the Quran. In fact, Allah tells him to say that because you know the Quran is words of Allah, right? The Quran is the words of Allah, not just the words of
Do you
Allah.
believe that? Do you believe that?
Huh? Well, you believe
No,
that.
you believe
No,
that?
I don't believe
Why
that.
you saying
But you believe
If
it.
you don't believe it, don't say this.
Because you
don't
believe it.
Why is
You
the Quran
believe it.
based on Allah?
Because
You
you
don't-
believe.
you don't know what
Do you
I believe
believe
or
it?
not.
Oh, you don't believe the Quran? Okay, that's different.
You don't
You
know
don't
what I
believe the
but
Quran is the
you
words of
say-
Allah?
You said that this was of Allah. You don't
No,
believe Allah. Why
but
you
in the
say that?
Quran,
Because
Allah says to
Why
Jesus.
you have to believe something Daniel says?
Uh-huh.
You don't
Well,
believe
you
it.
believe it, right? You
What I
believe it.
believe, that's not your job.
Yeah,
Your job is
no,
what you believe.
this is my
What
job.
you-
What you believe is my job. No, no.
You know, you say you
The
be a
Quran-
Muslim and
Muhammad
you-
says, "Ma adri mada yaf'al bi aw bikum." I don't know what will happen to me or you. How could I mean?
Yeah,
if he doesn't know where he's going, why do you want to
Palestine has
follow
it,
someone who doesn't know where he's going?
I do say that you come from Palestine and people are in front of the church. People doing
Uh-huh.
this like this.
Uh,
You think so?
maybe I don't know.
No,
You know,
have
but
you
there's
seen
lots
that?
of
Have you
Muslims.
seen that?
You,
Have you
you,
seen
you, you know what Muslims do to churches, right? In
You
Pakistan,
seen
right?
that? So Pakistan.
You saw what they do in Pakistan. They're Muslims, right? In Pakistan, are they Muslims?
You been Pakistan?
And I've seen what they do,
Where
right?
you been? Which year you went to Pakistan?
No, I never been to
So
Pakistan.
don't say anything
Uh-huh.
like news.
The news, when
Don't say
it
the
says
news.
that they
I-
burn the churches and stuff, that's not true, huh?
I can say that.
So
the-
do you
the one
believe
that
what's
was
happening
sitting
in Lebanon?
Damascus,
People go to jail,
you-
but in Pakistan they don't. They
No.
just
No, zero. That's why.
Doesn't it say to kill the Christian? Are they true or not?
Yeah,
Is the Quran true? Is it words of Allah?
Let me tell you.
Is it the words of Allah?
You memorize one or two verses and then you repeat it to everybody who don't believe on it.
You don't believe? No, I was. That's why I'm not now. Because you don't know Arabic. I do. About that. That's a good idea to invite them to the live stream.
احنا مسيحيين اكثر من مسيحيين مسلمين. We are fighting.
Says we are more than Christians. We're Muslims. So
ليش تقتلوا مسيحية؟ أنا بحب الجزائر، بحبك حبيبي.
okay.
Muslim. You know, there's a verse.
So why you become a Christians?
Because,
You know, okay,
because
I'm not a good Muslim, but
you're not a good Muslim.
no.
But do you
Even
believe Jesus died?
even nobody's perfect. If you're perfect, we become angel, isn't it?
Huh?
Is it?
We're all sinners, but we need forgiveness, right? You go to Mecca, right, to forgive your sins, to kiss the
No,
rock.
I don't have to go there to. If I be careful.
Yeah, it's okay.
You know,
They always almost hit me. So.
You know, I believe if I make a mistake, I can ask to forgive him. Ask to forgive him.
Let me ask you something, okay? If
I don't want to fight with nobody. You know, I believe.
asking
No,
the
you do
question
your
is
job.
not fighting. You only fight if you
I
want to.
have to go pick
We'll
up some
only
bad
fight if you want to fight. But I don't want to fight.
No. I'm too old for that.
Okay, but listen.
Okay, so that's some of what happened. That's some of what happened on Friday. So, yeah, let's see. When Hotel asked me my phone number on 3rd Street, I would give him the number. That's great. The Truth Defender says that when Muslims ask him for his phone number, he gives him the number of the FBI.
Is it 800?
I don't know. I know. I'm sure they have a local office here. So that's great. Thank you, Truth Defender. That's funny. All right, you guys. Well, thank you for hanging out, and you guys, you'll definitely want to be with me tomorrow night, because tomorrow I'm going to do my version of Dancing Queen. Yes, Dancing Queen by ABBA. I know it was your favorite song, but this version is about your future president, Kamala Harris. And so, but you're only going to hear it here, and it's only tomorrow night. So bring all your friends, you guys. Let's try to get 1 million people in here to listen to Kamala, Dancing Queen. So, all right, you guys. Thanks for hanging out. If you haven't done it, please do it now. Jesus, help me. Jesus, forgive me. Jesus, come into my heart. Jesus, help me. Jesus, forgive me. Jesus, come into my heart. يسوع ساعدني. يسوع سامحني. يسوع ادخل قلبي. Here's a little warning about the Mormons.
A plan was presented to build planet Earth, where the spirit children would be sent to take on mortal bodies and learn good from evil. Lucifer stood and made his bid for becoming savior of this new world. Wanting the glory for himself, he planned to force everyone to become gods. Opposing the idea, the Mormon Jesus suggested giving man his freedom of choice, as on other planets. The vote that followed approved the proposal of the Mormon Jesus, who would become savior of the planet Earth. Enraged, Lucifer cunningly convinced 1/3 of the spirits destined for Earth to fight with him in revolt. Thus Lucifer became the devil and his followers the demons. Sent to this world, they would forever be denied bodies of flesh and bone. Those who remained neutral in the battle were cursed to be born with black skin. This is the Mormon explanation for the Negro race. The spirits that fought most valiantly against Lucifer would be born into Mormon families on planet Earth. These would be the lighter-skinned people, or white and delightsome, as the Book of Mormon describes them. Early Mormon prophets taught that Elohim and one of his goddess wives came to Earth as Adam and Eve to start the human race. Thousands of years later, Elohim, in human form once again, journeyed to Earth from the starbase Kolob. this time to have sex with the Virgin Mary, in order to provide Jesus with a physical body. And after Jesus Christ grew to manhood, he took at least 3 wives, Mary, Martha, and Mary Magdalene. Through these wives, the Mormon Jesus, for whom Joseph Smith claimed direct descent, supposedly fathered a number of children before he was crucified.
If you have ever wondered why Dole apologists lie so much, it's because on a rare occasion that they tell the truth. This happens.
One of the reasons I accepted Islam was the scientific miracles. I'll be honest with you. And now we know that this whole scientific miracles was absolute nonsense.
You're going to have to... That the standard narrative has holes in it. That's what I'm going to say.